Good morning, I'm Melissa and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about creating a mindset of beauty, about cultivating inner beauty, and I dedicate this video to anyone who is not feeling particularly beautiful, and maybe you find yourself having thoughts of ugliness, and no matter what anyone tells you, no matter how many compliments you get, you just still feel ugly on the inside. And this really has very little to do with the physical appearance. It's about our feelings of self-worth, our feelings of self-love, our feelings of worthiness, that by developing a really big sense of inner beauty, you can completely shift your mindset and get to a place where you love yourself and you feel beautiful in your own skin, in your own body, just being you. And the reason that I can say this is that I went through 3+ years of extreme thoughts of ugliness. And I had never experienced this before. I had always been a really confident child. And then I entered into a relationship. This is before Alex. This was when I was 21, where it was very toxic emotionally. And it took a toll on me. And I remember switching from this confident, outgoing girl to this person who was constantly comparing herself to others and feeling very self-critical and analyzing myself in the mirror, like in little microscopic mirrors, and focusing on any little quote-unquote flaw that I could find and trying to, I guess, perfect those things. And it was just a very toxic situation, and it resulted in very low self-esteem, which I had previously never experienced before, which kind of made it even more challenging because I just didn't know what to do about it. I didn't know what to do about those feelings and those thoughts that were in my mind, and I felt foolish for sharing the thoughts with other people that were close to me, because I would just hear, oh, you're so beautiful, or oh, you're skinny, what are you worried about, or you know, things like that. Oh, you're young, you've got perfect skin, oh, you're like, you know. And so I would hear those things and I just thought, well, they obviously don't know, they obviously can't understand how I feel, so I would just keep those thoughts inside. And I suppose you would call it body dysmorphia, although it wasn't about weight, so to speak, it was just more about looks. And it was a really hard time for me. It caused a lot of anxiety. I ended up isolating myself from a lot of my friends and not going out as much. And you know me, on this channel, I love to spread the positivity, and I try to turn any experience that I've gone through in my life into a positive and to share with you guys, because one of you might be experiencing something similar. And so I want you to know that you can create a mindset of beautiful, and that feeling beautiful is real. I think sometimes when we hear about inner beauty, it comes across as a cliche, because we live in a very physical and materialistic world. The next minute we're just like, oh, to get more beautiful I need to change my hairstyle, and I need to get more makeup, and I need to buy new clothes, and I need to lose weight, or whatever it is. And the sad truth is that you could spend years and years and a ton of money on trying to make yourself more beautiful and doing all of those things and still feel just as awful on the inside. So that's why it's so important to focus on the inner work, on self-love, on ridding yourself of toxic situations, toxic friendships, and really focusing on what you need to do to get to a place of truly loving yourself and feeling good. And the feeling of beauty will come from that, and that beauty will radiate on the outside. I look back at pictures of myself when I was from 21 to 24, 25, and I just think, oh my gosh, I looked so beautiful. Like, I looked so pretty in these photos, but I remember how ugly I felt. I remember how uncomfortable I felt. I remember how fake my smiling was, where it looked in the photo like people probably thought, wow, she's so happy. But really, I wasn't at all. I was very self-critical. And I remember I would almost like desperately copy other people's styles. I would see someone else and it made me kind of lose my own individuality. It's so funny because now I find that what is most beautiful is when people express their individuality and aren't trying to fit in and, you know, show off their uniqueness and what makes them them. And so it's so interesting how a few years can really change so much, and a lot of difficult but important self-work. And so I'm going to share with you a few things that I believe can really make a big difference and start creating more of a feeling of inner beauty within you. So one, do not focus on what you consider to be a flaw. Just a little side note, if you watch my videos, you might realize that I don't ever use the word flaw. I don't think I've ever said the word flaw in a video. I don't believe in flaws. The whole idea of flaws is totally contrary to what I believe. Personally, I think words are so important, and when you call something a flaw, to me, it's implying that there is a perfect standard that it does not, you know, hold its weight up against. And I don't believe that there is a perfect standard. I believe that you're you, and what you've got is what you've got, and it's beautiful, and doesn't mean that you can't change something if you want to, but I just don't call things flaws. So tip number one, and this can be really challenging if you aren't feeling particularly beautiful, and it is to not focus on whatever you are considering to be a flaw. It is so important to put your attention elsewhere, because what happens is that often we fixate on these things. Maybe it's your skin and you're feeling like, oh no, my skin, I have acne, I'm feeling ugly right now, and you just spent hours and hours Googling how to get rid of your acne, and you're watching videos of people with quote-unquote perfect skin, and you're feeling inadequate, and then it just causes you to really fixate on your skin. Next thing you know, you're in the bathroom and you're looking at magnified mirrors of your skin and focusing on every little thing that you can see and how you can change it or fix it. And in my personal experience, the best thing to do is to focus on something else. Find one thing about you that you love, that makes you feel confident, that you feel is beautiful. Maybe it's your hair and you love your hair. Instead of focusing on your skin, go and curl your hair and do a really beautiful hairstyle. This really is all about your mindset, and to get yourself feeling confident again, you cannot keep focusing on the thing that is making you feel insecure. I know it goes contrary to what seems natural, because you're wanting to fix something and you think, well, in order to fix it, I really need to put all of my attention on it. But in my experience, that makes things way worse, and it results in feeling even more inadequate. Focus on something else. Get yourself busy on your work. Go be around people who are uplifting and kind and loving, and don't think about whatever it is that you're considering to be a flaw. In fact, throw the word flaw out of your vocabulary and focus on something in your life that's going well. Nurture that thing even more and put all of your attention on it. Let that boost your self-confidence. Let that boost your self-esteem. Next, if there's someone in your life that is very critical of you and that makes comments about your looks, especially when you're feeling particularly insecure, I think it might be time to say bye-bye to that person. Make your best effort to prioritize hanging out with other people who are not going to trigger this sensitivity that you have right now, especially if you're feeling particularly emotionally fragile. Hanging out with someone who pokes fun at you or criticizes you. Notice how you feel when you look at certain social media sites or people's pages online. If you find that after looking at them you feel inadequate, or you find yourself really comparing yourself to how they look, then I suggest unfollowing those people immediately. And again, what you focus on grows. If you're going to get to a place of feeling better, of feeling more inner beauty, of feeling more self-love than ever before, it's going to come from your own efforts. Your own efforts to have a more positive mindset, your own efforts of what or who to cut out of your life and what positive things to include more of in your life. And it's going to come from your own actions and decisions. If you have a question for me that you want me to answer in a video, feel free to send that my way. If you're not yet following me on Instagram, it's at MelissaAlexandria01. So I'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. I hope that they bring positivity into your day, and I'm sending you lots and lots of love. I'll see you next time. Bye.